It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book. Hi. We're ready to draw. Mine a little later than I planned on being, but that's okay. I'll allow it. Okay. I just need to pour myself some ink here. So, hope everybody's doing good this day. Ooh. Ink. Okay. I'm just gonna get the page. Oh. A little bit of light. Yeah. Okay. I was trying to adjust the pose on this last panel too. I didn't really finish what I was doing. That's okay. We'll get it sorted. Okay. It's a rainy day outside, I think. It's gloomy anyway. Kind of low energy right now. And fill these eyebrows in. So, what's going on? It's a Monday morning. We're working on Bonehead, page 56. My name is Ryan O'Connor. Oh, you know what I'm not doing? I'm not wearing my new accessory. The Mothman enamel pin that my good friend Kane made. And you can see her art streams and her gaming streams at the link below. Catechus Flinch on Twitch. She has a bunch of drawing streams over there and gaming streams. I'm not too familiar with Twitch, but I always thought it seemed kind of clunky, but people like it. I don't know. I find it fussy to use, personally. Maybe I should be on there. Should I be on Twitch? Because if I just avoid everything that I find hard to use, I wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. Should I be on TikTok? What would I do on TikTok? Leave a comment on this video if you think I should post content to TikTok or Twitch. And then what would I do? Also, leave a comment if I'm perfect just the way I am. Don't you move a muscle. Don't you change a thing, sweetie. It's getting warm in here. I got this heater right on top of me. Because I'm a cold guy. It's my wristband isn't even on screen. I just want to show it off. Okay. I used to wear this wristband in high school. I don't remember where I got it. Probably like at Dave & Buster's or something. Or I mean, this I got from somewhere. I don't know where. I used to wear it in high school all the time. I just put my my friend's pin on there. I think she was doing some kind of giveaway. I don't know if that ended. I was hearing about some kind of giveaway that she wanted to do, where the campaign for it is over for this pin, but she's got some extras that she's trying to sell off or get rid of. So if you want yourself a Mothman enamel pin, check out her Twitch. Last night I was I went to the store real late. When I was leaving the house, just a second, let me get a point on this brush. I can't do two things at once, I guess. Actually, I'm going to make him a wider mort. Okay, I'll fix that line later. Last night I went to the store. When I was leaving the house, I realized I left my phone in this room, and I was just like, I won't need it. I'm just taking a quick trip to the store. And so I left it here. I even said that out loud as I was walking out of the house. I was like, I won't need my phone. It'll be a quick trip. And I get this cord out of the way. Sorry. I keep interrupting my own story. So I went to the store and I bought some stuff, and then I was walking out and I realized I had seen the total on the screen, but I wasn't thinking about it because I was talking to the cashier. Or I was answering a question or whatever during the transaction, and I didn't think anything of it when I saw it, but then when I was walking to my car, I was like, wait a minute. I think she overcharged me. because that seems like a lot. And then I looked. I got in my car, looked at the receipt, and yeah, she overcharged me. She double scammed something. And so I was like, do I want to go in? Sure, I'll just do it now. She was like the only one there. And I was like, it'll be quick and easy. So yeah, she fixed it, and I go back to my car, and I've locked my keys in there because I sat down in the car about to start it. But then I set the keys down to grab the receipt and look at the receipt, and went back into the store, leaving the keys behind on the seat. Classic Ryan. Seriously, I do that all the dang time. And so I was like, okay, well, I gotta call my roommate and ask if he can bring my spare key. But I had left my phone in this room, remember? So I was just standing there. Like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? No phone. No. And, people like me don't remember anybody's numbers anymore. I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I go in there. I go back into the Jewel. I'm like, I locked myself out of my car. Can I use your phone? And she's like, oh, sure. She's like, what's the number you want to call? And I'm like, I don't know. And so I'm like, can you just call like a local cab and I'll like get some cash back and pay the cab and get my spare key and get trucked back out here. And she's like, just try calling your phone. Maybe someone will hear it. I try calling my phone like 3 times. I'm like, no one's gonna hear it. I always have it on silent. So I have thrice sabotaged myself in this scenario. My phone's on silent. I left my phone at home, locked my keys in my car. I'm a 3-time idiot. So, and I don't know anybody's number. So, but then I remembered my dad's. Eventually, I remembered my dad's phone number because it's very similar to my childhood phone number. And back when you had to know numbers off the top of your head. And he got me my roommate's number, and I called him, and he dropped off my spare key and my phone. What a hero! What a champ! What a guy! So, saved the day. But man, when I got back to my car and had no key, no phone, I never felt more helpless. But now, I, at least at the moment, I have my my roommate's phone number in my head. Maybe I won't forget. Let's see here. Drop shadows. Pardon me. I'm checking something out. It's taking its time. Hey. This is boring. No one likes me. Hey. Just trying to see if there's anything going on the different platforms. Okay. Trying to figure out how this operation works. Hi, it's Meredith. So there's you. I want to see if it says it over here. Okay. So yeah, you comment on the YouTube, and I can see it in both places. Okay, that's all I was wondering. I saw someone was in here, and didn't know if it showed up in both places the same or not. I am liked. How you doing? I'm like super mellowy sounding today. I'm kind of on a jacked up schedule starting today for the next week. So I'm kind of like reversing my sleep pattern, which I've been having to do a lot lately. That's okay, we'll live. Oh, what homework are you doing? Here I am drawing off screen. Ooh. So, yesterday morning, or early afternoon, I guess, I had my friend Kat Amon on, whose link is below. She's the My Crafted Studio link. She does laser cut jewelry and accessories. Meredith is her sister. Work for your last class. After this, it's just assignments for my internship and a portfolio. What are you going to school for again? I don't remember. Human services. Okay. Is that legality? I'm trying to remember. I know we've talked about it a lot, but I feel like I also remember your curriculum having to get jostled around a lot. I got nothing going on. My brain's on empty. I'm always emptying out everything I have to say on this channel. And let's see, wide range. My focus is mostly advocacy, social justice, and anti-human trafficking. That's new. That wasn't in there before. You used to be for human trafficking. No, that's not. That's not true. Interesting. Hey, would you want to come on if I sent you a link? How would I do that? I could send it. Well, I don't know. Let's see if you want to. And you don't have to. So this is Mort. And he kind of sounds like Teddy from Bob's Burgers. He's also kind of Cliff from Cheers. I made a cartoon where I talked for him. Sounds fun. Probably can't stay long, but I'm in. Okay. Let me see. Do I have? I should have your number, right? Let me see. Do you have my number? Why don't I have it? Or I could send it to you on Twitter or something. Where's there? Let's see. Not on Twitter. What are the options again? Well, I was gonna try texting it to you, but apparently I don't have your number somehow. Do you have my number? Could you text me? Otherwise, oh, you're not on Twitter. Why was I thinking you were? Or I could send it to you on Facebook. Sorry. If it's too much trouble, we can just forego it if you'd like. Here. Send it. Can I do anything? Let's see. And that is, let's see, let me get this line. This is the most low energy I've been in my entire life. Except for every other time I broadcast, probably. Booyah booyah. Okay, I sent it on Facebook. If you're interested, and if you'd rather not, that is perfectly acceptable. So Mort over here, he's trying to find out why Bonehead never came back to his post at work after getting in trouble. So he's sneaking around, and there's these guys. They're like workplace suck up, and the security guard. They're walking by, so he's ducking behind a corner. Hey. Hiya.
Hey!
What's up?
Not too much, you?
Not too much. Just same o, same o.
I lied. It's obviously a lot, but
Oh yeah. A lot of schoolwork.
just a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit. But finally gonna be done, so there's that.
Nice. When are you finished?
As long as everything goes well, January.
Oh, Bossa Nova.
Yeah. Been a long time though, like you said.
Yeah. How many years have you been going to college?
When I graduate, it'll be 10 years since I started.
Holy smokes!
Mm-hmm. That's the problem with going part-time.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang. I think I was in college for, I think I did 2 or 3 years at the community college, and then 3 years at the Art Institute, or the Institute of Art, which my school building doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Which reminds me too. So when you and Kat were talking yesterday about your screen printing class
Uh-huh.
and talking about how relaxed it was, I remembered that I mean, as soon as you mentioned it, I was like, I went there. I clearly was not college age, but your professor was so relaxed that I went and just hung out there with you guys. I think you were
Did
there
you?
that day. Yeah. I was there for the gunpowder and everything.
Oh, I don't.
I think it was only one day, so you may or may not have been there. I can't remember. Maybe I went a couple of times, but it was just funny to me that he's just like, sure, bring your kid's sister.
Yeah.
He was like,
I
yeah,
remember.
whatever.
I remember bringing my little sister to his class once, probably a different time, but I don't know. She was like, I don't know. She's 15 years younger than me, so she was like a little girl.
Yeah,
but
a little bit of a bigger difference than me and my sister, but
yeah. But man, I forgot that you were ever there.
yeah. Again, I don't remember if you were there or not because it was only like one day or a couple of days, but it was just really funny to me that there's like, yeah, whatever.
I think she said something about like going an extra few weeks or something beyond what I did. But I know I was in the class for like, I don't know, a month or something with her. But yeah, I don't know if she did like an extended version of it.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's a while ago, but yeah, I know I went. I can't remember if AJ went or not, but you know, my friend might have. She tagged
If
around
she
for
was
it.
there, I definitely wasn't, just because I don't know. I remember her being around like half the time you were ever around.
Yeah.
I feel like I would remember it more if both of
Yeah,
you.
for real. Yeah. She was always very quiet, but everyone always was like, "Oh yeah, her. I know." I don't know if you heard, she moved to Sweden now.
I think you told me that.
Yeah. Everyone, yeah, because that was the year everybody was moving. It was my parents, my sister, like you guys just talked about, and my best friend all moved the same year. And I'm like, cool.
Dang.
I'm alone. But then a pandemic happened, so I wouldn't have been able to see anyone anyway. So.
Yeah. So that it just kind of made it a little easier.
Yeah, it's fine.
And how's Chuck and the rabbits?
Good, very good. That's one reason why I was like, what are the options of getting on again for the stream? Because I like got up for a second and was like, hey, Chuck, heads up.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go talk to Ryan for a little bit because we're both in the basement, but he's like in the other room working out, and I don't want him to like walk out and start talking to me without realizing.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, cool.
Like,
so Chuck says hi.
Okay. And how many rabbits do you have?
4.
4. That's a ton.
It is a ton.
Metric ton of rabbits.
It's a lot. That we're at max capacity. I don't think any more can ever happen. We took care of a friend has a couple of rabbits and they're not bonded, so we had 2 rabbits on each floor of our house, and 2 of them had to be in their own pens. So they're in the same room, but they were like in separate pens because they tried to get along, but they couldn't. So, so we had 6 rabbits for like a week or 2, and we were like, "That's
you
6
had
is too
6
many."
for a while.
Just for like a week or 2 because we were taking care of my friends.
Oh, okay.
But we were like, 6 is too many. 4 is our max. 4 is a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, we were like, oh, we'll adopt like 1 or 2. So, because rabbits often do better in groups. And our rabbit wasn't being very subtle about the fact that she wanted a friend. She would dig blankets into like the shape, like basic shape of a rabbit and like cuddle up against it and groom it. And I'm like, okay, you want a friend.
You are lonely.
We get it. So we're like, okay, we'll adopt 1 or 2 more. And then we saw that there were 3 that were up for adoption. And like the rescue posted it online, but most bunny people, most people that would follow the rescue already like know proper rabbit care and that they do better in like pairs or groups. So they already had enough bunnies. No one had room for 3 more. And I was like, maybe. But I was like, there's no way we can't get 3 more. And I talked to my husband and he was like, yeah, what's 3 more? And now we know.
So he wouldn't mind. He wouldn't mind more.
Huh?
He wouldn't mind more.
Well, at the time he was like, oh, what's 3 more? So now that's how we ended up with 4 of them.
Gotcha.
And he's like, we were already gonna get 1 or 2. What's 1 more? So let's just do the 3. And and it worked out. But sadly, we weren't able to bond them all together. So we got 2 and 2.
Okay.
They're all happy, so that's important.
Well, that's cool. What else is going on? Like, what kind of homework are you doing?
Well, that's kind of interesting. You might actually enjoy this. So, I mean, that sounds very funny because it's homework, but it's basically I'm doing assignments based on the internship that I just had. And my internship was pretty weird. I actually interned at a tattoo shop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They do cover-ups and removals for free for former gang members and survivors of sex trafficking and domestic violence and self-harm, things like that. So it's like a ministry as well as a tattoo shop.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Anytime your private Christian school is like, sure, you can intern at a tattoo shop, just go with it. It's pretty fun.
So were you removing tattoos from people or
no? But I am, when I'm done with my classes, I am going to go back to be trained to do that and see how it goes. Because I'm not a tattoo artist. And trust me, everybody that came in asked.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're the intern. So like, are you learning how to do it? And I was like, nah, I'm the intern. There's an apprentice over there. She's the one learning to tattoo. I'm just sitting here.
Oh man, I would not want to do tattoos on people.
Yeah, very stressful, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I would melt every day.
Yeah. I also like I'm squeamish and stuff, but I'm like,
oh yeah,
I think I should try. Which is funny because I can watch getting tattooed. Like I can watch myself getting tattooed or other people getting tattooed, but it's different with removal. Especially the kind that he does is pretty interesting. They offer, well, he's trained to do laser removal, so he can do that. But also, what they normally do is, it's like the company is called Tattoo Vanish, and they basically, it's like they tattoo over your tattoo.
Oh,
They use a tattoo machine to basically open up the skin, and then they'll put a solution on top of it that bonds with the ink and draws it out of the skin.
oh wow.
Whereas laser removal, it breaks up the ink, but it just kind of like gets redistributed in your body, doesn't get pulled out.
Oh,
So we don't fully know the effects of that.
really?
Just it's a little frightening.
Hey.
Yeah. Plus it's like at least 6 months of training. It's really complicated because you can seriously mess somebody up if you don't know how to use a laser. So
Man.
a lot easier to learn like the tattoo vanish method with a tattoo machine. So that's what I'll be learning.
Cool.
But it's, basically opening it up so it's more bloody than a tattoo would be. But we'll see how I do.
Okay. So that would be an internship? Like what?
Well,
what's your like where are you trying to end up? Is that it?
Honestly, if I could, I would love to just stay there.
Okay.
We'll see.
That does sound really interesting.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it there. So I'm excited that I can go back when I'm done with my classes, because I'm done with the internship side of things. I just have to do assignments based on the internship, like talking about my experience and that kind of thing. So that's where I'm at.
Neat.
Yeah.
I don't know. What, how was your Thanksgiving? I don't know. I'm out of gas today.
Actually, no. Another thing on the topic of tattoos reminds me of your conversation yesterday. When you guys were talking about old Nickelodeon stuff. Kat has dressed up as Little Pete before for Halloween.
Yeah.
So every time she does the fake tattoo, the petunia tattoo, and every single time she's like, maybe I want to get one. Maybe I want a tattoo. And I was like, you should get that exact tattoo. And she was like, you want me to get a red-headed lady on my arm? Everyone's going to think I have a tattoo of my sister. I was like, and your point is, why not?
Yeah.
Every time she looks at it, she's like, maybe. I was like, are you gonna get a ship on your back too? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, he had a full back tattoo of a ship. That's right. I think we only see that one once or twice, maybe. But
well, because they only show it, I think, like one episode when he's on the beach. Like no context. It's just believe that this kid has 2 tattoos.
Yeah.
No context.
Tattoos like a full-grown man.
Yeah, it's like a pinup model and a whole ship on his back.
Do you have a lot of tattoos?
Not a lot. But all of mine are like a little bit bigger. But they're also they're like on my thighs or on my shoulder blades, so they're all pretty easily hidden. At least for now. Until I get more. But yeah, when I got my first tattoo and told my parents, my dad's like, well, let me see it right away. And I was like, you sure you don't want to process this a little bit or anything? Or do you have any questions? And he's just like, no, I want to see. And I showed him and he was like, oh, because he thought that it was going to be like an itty bitty little one. And it was maybe hand size.
Yeah.
And so he was he's a little taken aback. Yeah, I have 5 tattoos right now.
75 and you want to get more.
Yeah. The owner of the tattoo shop I interned at, he has 101.
Jiminy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler's. I'm gonna break the news. Tyler's fiance.
Yes.
He was texting Kat and Chris last night after.
Oh yeah. Kat told me that because I was like, "What's happening?"
His fiance has like a whole bunch of tattoos.
Yay!
That's always like a thing with people who get tattoos. It's like they're never satiated. They always want more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've sat through at the shop. I sat through a lot of first tattoos, and that's one of the things that we tell everybody. So they're like, "I think I'll only get one," and I'm like, "Maybe
We'll see.
We'll see.
See you soon."
Well, yeah, exactly. That's usually what we say. Like as they're walking out the door, we're like, "We'll see you soon."
I think I'm gonna go all the way here. I'm a guy who's probably never gonna get a tattoo. And
oh yeah. I mean, my husband probably he has one.
Yeah.
And that's probably gonna be the only one.
Yeah.
Because he just was like, "Oh, I just want to get something instead of a wedding ring," because he doesn't ever wear jewelry.
Oh, right.
So he did that. I don't know.
That's kind of cool. That's pretty
yeah.
cool. I was just thinking about that. I was I don't know why, but I was thinking like that is kind of a cool tattoo because it's kind of a commitment thing, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I forgot I knew somebody who had that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like we definitely talked about it during like the wedding ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't have a ring to give him. Like it's not just it wasn't like I just don't want to wear a ring all like he does not have a wedding ring. He only
Never
has
had
a
one.
tattoo. So we didn't even have like a symbolic fake because he's never gonna wear it. So he got it done, I think about a month in advance, which is even more of a commitment because technically we weren't married yet.
Yeah.
And he let it heal, obviously. And like he just wanted to be all healed by the time of the wedding. So what we did was we like his mom tied a little ribbon around his finger, and our ring bearer who prefers to be referred to as the Lord of the Rings. He had like the little ring box with my ring in it and like antique like sewing scissors. And so I just like cut it was like a ribbon cutting. Like I just cut a little ribbon off of his finger. Like, there's his.
I was at your wedding. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But I have a terrible memory. But
I know. I was like, I don't know if you remember. I mean, not because of your memory, but because it's because we didn't make like a huge thing about it. I know sometimes people will get tattoos at their wedding.
Really?
We did not do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad idea. I like the idea of like getting it way in advance and having it all healed and everything, so you can enjoy your wedding.
Yeah,
eat a little more freely.
It was really nice, and I knew the artist. Because my husband wanted, he wanted a hand poke tattoo. So Chuck wanted like he didn't want it to be like done with a machine. He wanted it like a more traditional, like a hand poke tattoo.
Oh, gotcha.
So the guy that has done most of my piercings also does hand poke tattoos, and I was like, that works. So he did it, and he did it like after his shop closed for the day, so it was just the three of us hanging out.
Oh, nice.
Which was really nice. Yeah. It's like his little wedding gift, because I'd seen him. I've gotten a lot of like ear piercings and stuff from him, so he was like, I went to pay him for the tattoo, and he's just like, nah. And I was like, well, then you're coming to my wedding. If you're not
Uh-huh.
taking my money, then you better come to the wedding. Like at least we can give you a night out, you know.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Do you still see that guy?
I do, but not as much because I haven't gotten any piercings in a while.
Uh-huh.
I'm running out of room. Can only do so many on your ears.
Yeah.
No intention of getting any others, so
So you're all pierced up.
at least for now.
Oh, okay.
I'll never say never, but yeah, probably. Probably. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just saying that's the other thing I don't think I'm ever gonna do is piercings.
There honestly, tattoos are way easier than piercings.
Yeah.
For me at least. Like cuz they heal faster and I mean, obviously like the process takes longer. That's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very very different feeling, you know, cuz like I said, I've sat in for a lot of people getting their first tattoo and they're like really scared and, you know, they think it's going to hurt a lot. And we're like, you'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
Like I have like no pain tolerance and I have
Really?
tattoos, you know, you'll probably be okay.
Yeah, I'm a wimp, but I think I'm too sentimental and fickle. Like if I were to get a tattoo, I'd always wish I never did.
Oh.
Kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Yeah, I think it's more that than anything.
No, it's definitely hard. Like I mean some people can just easily decide what they want and where they want it and all of that, but I have a hard time coming up with like placement for things, you know.
Yeah.
And I tend to obsess over that kind of thing and I'm like I'm going to have it forever, so I don't want to mess it up.
I think just out of the 7 kids in my family, just one of my brothers has a tattoo on his chest. He's got like like a 2, like a Roman numeral 2 Gemini symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Do you have any text tattoos?
Not yet.
Okay.
I've definitely thought about it, but I don't have any yet. That
Say,
also terrifies me.
Yeah, I feel like 99% of text tattoos bug me, but I like symbols and I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think can work really well, but
yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of the time, because symbols, you know, they never have to have a meaning, or you know, the meaning can change over time or whatever. You know, you can just be like, it looks cool.
yeah.
And like art, you know, you can assign like any meaning to it, but with words, it's a little bit harder.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're like, I don't agree with that anymore, it's on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not like if you've got a duck on you, it could mean anything. Like I like ducks, or like I don't know, that was my school mascot, or whatever the heck. You know, it could have different meanings, but if it's just like words on you, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, yeah.
You better hope you like it. And my biggest fear is like the spelling.
Yeah, I've seen some ambiguous spelling on people's tattoos where I'm like, I don't know that you put the right version of that word on you.
Nope. That happens. I'm like, I would check with everyone I know.
Yeah.
Is this spelled right? And then I'd still probably be terrified while getting it. But
yeah.
So yeah, I've gone back and forth on that. I've debated it. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And other times I'm like, kind of glad I haven't so far. We'll see.
So, you're still out here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Were you thinking about moving to California with your sister at one point, and your parents? No.
No. And if anything, my parents have been talking a lot about moving back. But
Oh, is that right?
well, we don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on how things go with my dad's job and all that. But
Yeah.
um,
I have a couple friends that they moved out to Washington right before me and Tyler moved here, like maybe a year before. And they just came out to visit for Thanksgiving. And then it was like the day after they got back home from visiting us, they called Tyler and told him that they think they're going to move back out here finally.
yay!
Yeah, so that's nice. Maybe not so much for them, but
Well, yeah.
There was a lot of, it sounds like, crime and problems where they were, and they were talking about moving to other states, but I think they decided they're just going to come back here and be with family.
Yeah. The problem is that a lot of states that people want to move to from California, everyone wants to move there.
Yeah.
So now they're having some of the same problems that people are trying to escape. Like the prices are just skyrocketing. I have a friend in Arizona, and she's like, everyone from California is moving out here, and now everything's so expensive, and it's hard to find a place to live, and yeesh.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that some people are just going back to wherever they moved from, but
Yeah.
But no, Kat was definitely. She's like, if mom and dad come out here, and we want to move out here, are you guys going to? And we're like, no. We love you, but no. So please don't go. I was with you. I was like, don't move.
Yeah. Oh man, it was like I was helping them move a little bit, and it didn't, like, I remember, like, I finally, like, hugged your sister goodbye, and that's when it, like, finally hit me. I was just like, this is hard.
Oh yeah, I understand. Trust me, we were the last stop before they left.
Oh yeah.
So, and it was extra scary too because it was at the very start of the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Like the start of when things were beginning to shut down. Is when they were about to start driving across the country. So we were like, they might get stranded somewhere. What if they get sick? Scary.
Yeah.
But they're there and they're safe, so that's good. But
and they're where they are, they're not having any problems, right? It's a pretty nice location, isn't it?
Yeah. I think well, it's not even a problem. I was gonna say one of the craziest things they have is since they're in the Sacramento area, they've got near there is they have a town full of chickens that just roam about the streets.
That's cool.
So maybe a chicken problem, but no one minds it. Everyone likes it, so
if you really start to have a problem with it, just fry one up.
No.
Sorry. Oh, you're vegan, aren't you?
I'm a vegetarian, but yeah. I keep teasing Kat about it too, though, because she's like, there's chicken everywhere. Look at all these chickens. And I was like, so is that going to guilt trip you now? And she's like, never. But I'm only teasing you. Especially like if you're at like a cafe and you're having like a chicken sandwich and a chicken walks by you, you're not going to feel a little bit guilty. But nah, it sounds nice. I haven't been able to go out at all to visit.
Oh, you haven't even visited them?
No, my parents or Kat. Obviously, I would do both if I was going out there, even though they're not exactly close to each other.
How far away are they from each other? I forget.
It's like 3 hours.
Oh.
Could
be worse.
Could be worse. Yeah. But they each have been able, as you know, Kat and Chris came out. And my parents also came out. So I saw them once. Each couple I saw once. One visit, you know. So pandemic's fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
About, like, you were in on this video right away. Do you get notifications?
I turned them on because yesterday when you said you were gonna stream again, I was like, okay, cool. Well, I had subscribed, so I thought surely it would tell me, and it didn't.
Yeah.
So then I turned on the notifications, like the notification bell, and it worked today. So
okay. Yeah, I always hear mixed things about notifications.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not an issue for me.
Watch, huh?
Most of the time, it's not an issue for me if I'm subscribed to someone, but sometimes it is.
So did you just subscribe? Is that
I think so. Yeah, I thought I was. And yesterday I realized that I wasn't. And I was like, was I in a different account or something? Because why am I not subscribed? So I fixed that. And then I thought, surely I'll see when he comes on again tonight. And it didn't come up. So.
Oh, dang.
But it worked today when I did the notification.
Oh, cool.
It worked.
So I don't know. What are you doing for fun these days?
Fun. Not much. So mostly just doing homework all the time. Yeah. I was actually gonna say, it's like, it makes sense. Like, obviously I like art and stuff, and I grew up with my sister, so I've always been around like crafts and that kind of thing. But it's funny, I'm like, I was at an internship where most of what I did was watch someone tattoo people or draw all day, and now my fun while doing homework has been like watching you draw.
Oh,
I can't escape it. I was watching somebody sketch, I guess.
Yeah, before I started doing this, I was just watching other artists, and I still watch them all the time. Like make comics or just draw or do commissions or whatever. And there's like 4 or 5 that I would just put on while I was drawing stuff in my sketchbooks and stuff, or penciling this comic. And it's like, why don't I just do that and see if I can get some kind of interest in this comic going while I'm making it.
Well, I'm biased, so I'm already interested, but but yeah, I love this kind of thing. It's soothing. I love, like, again, like whether it's tattoos or drawing, I love like seeing clean lines being drawn,
Yeah.
It's very satisfying. Yeah, I was trying to think. I'm like, I don't really. Yeah, it's probably just like watching YouTube, especially like between homework assignments or something. Or I've been blowing through rewatching Boy Meets World.
Oh, that's one I meant to bring up yesterday.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Boy Meets World in forever.
Yeah.
But,
well, I own every season, obviously. So yeah, I just started putting that on because I was like hitting a roadblock and like struggling to get any work done. And so I'm like, I gotta like cheer myself up or like put on something like some comforting thing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm somewhere in season 6. There's only 7 seasons.
Oh yeah.
So I just had it on in the background all the time.
What did I just watch? Oh, Venture Brothers.
Oh
They also have 7 seasons, but I whenever I need something to just kind of put on in the background that I've seen a million times, I always go to Venture Brothers lately.
That I think I've only watched through that once.
Oh, you've seen it all?
I think so. Because I know that they were like debating doing another. I think there was talk about doing another season, and it was like they will, they won't.
Yeah, they were writing that season 8, and then it got canceled because I think they wanted to bring it back to what is it called, HBO Max,
Yeah, something like
like
that.
exclusively, and I think they decided they were just going to do a movie instead, and that's going to be it, I guess.
Yeah. So aside from that, I think I'm caught up on everything. But yeah, that one I've only seen. I don't remember as many of the references or
I
whatever, but it is very funny.
love that show.
Good animation as well.
Oh yeah, it gets more slick looking every season.
Yeah, you can tell they definitely put time into it. I mean, obviously, because people are like, "When's it gonna come back?" You know, looking at their watch, like
Yeah.
years pass or whatever. They definitely would take longer breaks, but you can tell like they put effort into it,
Oh yeah.
which I always appreciate, rather than people just
Hmm.
cranking things out. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I thought about when you guys were talking yesterday. This kind
Uh-huh.
of ties in old shows as well as just 90s nostalgia. Um, so I don't know if we've talked about this much, but Chuck, he is. I mean, we both like anime. He's very very into anime, and
Uh-huh.
mostly like older anime. So we watch a lot of stuff from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s,
Uh-huh.
and he has some of it is old copies that he recorded in the 90s.
Oh wow.
So we've watched through a lot of Sailor Moon,
Oh, yeah.
and it was like from an old VHS tape that he had recorded, and it had like all the commercials on it.
Uh-huh.
So there was like old
Oh.
Discovery Zone commercials. Oh, we were loving it.
Oh really? There were
Yeah,
commercials?
yeah, Discovery Zone commercials.
I love that place so much.
I know. I miss it so much. I wish it was still around. I don't know how. Like, sorry, Chuck E. Cheese, but I don't know how you won. They're not as cool. It was never as cool as Discovery Zone.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry, go on.
I don't know. I liked the idea of the the weird kind of creepy animatronic,
So creepy.
but
Yeah.
which Discovery Zone didn't have,
Did
but
not, no.
but for some reason I liked it better.
But the play place was better.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was like, I think just more of a play place than like an
Yeah.
arcade or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if their powers combined, it would be like the coolest place ever, probably. It was a little bit more of an arcade. Um, but I miss it. I think it was kind of like being phased out by the time I moved to the area. I think I was like that's how I gauge a lot of things is I only moved like twice in my life, and the first time I was 5. So
Yeah,
everything's like pre 5 years old and after when it
yeah,
comes
that's
to
kind of how I think too.
like childhood. So I'm like, yeah, I think a lot of Discovery Zone started closing around like 99-ish.
Yeah, like I don't think, because I did look it up kind of recently. I was looking up Discovery Zone and Zany Brainy,
Yes.
and I think there's some weird connection between the two places, and they were right by each other where I lived, and like I think they're owned by maybe the same thing, or maybe I've got that wrong, but they were they were both kind of like they both kind of had the same lifespan too.
Yeah. Zany Brainy definitely was around longer when
Oh
like
really?
after I came here.
Okay.
But that might have also been I don't think there were very many. It might have just been in the area. Like, there might have been like different states had different amounts of each location, because I feel like when I moved, so I was born in Indiana, and that's where I went to Discovery Zone. And I don't really remember going to Discovery Zone after I moved out of Indiana, but I do remember going to Zany Brainy a lot. Which, hold on, I gotta grab my charger. But my sister alluded to a hilarious story yesterday, and she did not tell it.
What's that?
You probably have heard it before because it is so ridiculous. But my mom hinted at it as well in the comments. So at Zany Brainy, my sister decided to sass me because I wanted this specific toy. And
do you remember what it was, or are you building up to that?
It was Madeline, like the books in the show. It was like a Madeline set. It was the specific like table and chairs set that I wanted. And I was saying like, "Oh, I need it to complete this thing." But I didn't say that because I was a child. I just said, "Oh, I need this." And my big sister had to be like, you need to learn the difference between want and need. You don't need that. And of course I just held on to that because I was just like an angry little kid. So I just like held on to that like the whole day. We're like out running errands and stuff, and I'm just like sitting here brooding. Like she was so mean, so sassy. And like I know the difference between want and need. And so later we were in the car. She's in the passenger seat. I'm in the back seat, and she was like, she saw this car that was for sale, like on the side of the road, and she was like, "Ooh, that's a really cool car. I kind of want that." And I pipe up and I said, I was like, "Hey, you want to know the difference between want and need? I need you to buy that car because I want you to drive away."
That's good. I want you to try.
Yeah. I was stewing all day and finally was like, "You know what?" This tiny child from the back seat, I'm like, you better get that car. And obviously we've never forgotten that. So that's why when you were talking about Zany Brainy, my mom was like, want and need. Difference between want and need. We learned that day.
Man, you must have been, if I had to guess, oh man, you must have been like 5 or something.
No, I was definitely old because I mean, well, I don't know if she was old enough to drive, but she just wanted the car and wanted to be able to drive. So she was getting closer to that age.
Really?
But that would have, but I don't think she was able to drive at all yet. So she was probably like early teens, maybe.
Okay.
So I still would have been like, even if she was like 15, that would have only made me 10. So, but I think she was younger than that. But she was just like, "Oh, I wish like that'd be such a cool car to have." And I'm like, "Yeah, you need it because I want you to drive away." Salty kid.
Yeah.
She was just like taken aback too because she's like, "Man, you held on to that for hours." Yeah, that's what kids do. You if you ROM them, they will hold on to that. They'll stew,
Yeah. Adding more details here, more shadows. But I'm just about done. What else you got going on today? You're just doing
pretty much homework.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Are you still part-time classes?
Yeah. So this is my last class is this week. And then I mean, for like last full class. And then I have like a 1 day class where I have to like present everything for my internship. And I have a 1 day class where I have to bring in like a portfolio of like accumulation of all of my work, basically.
Okay.
So fun, not at all stressful. That's where I'm at.
Okay. Man, I don't miss school. Though,
I don't
though
blame you.
sometimes I do think I want to just out of pocket do another like art class at the community college.
Yeah.
I think that was that would be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big difference though, just doing one class compared to
Yeah, definitely, and especially if it's just something recreational like that. Um, yeah, I think about that all the time. And I was gonna say something about that yesterday, where like I got an animation teaching job a few years ago that I did for almost 2 years, and when she was asking me about my art school stuff, I was my answer was about it was something like, and I was realizing it as I was saying it, that I was like, actually I feel like I got a better art education at community college than at my art school. Like I felt like maybe the art teachers kind of felt like they had something to prove at community college.
Yeah, maybe.
Whereas the art teachers at art school were kind of like settled. They were kind of like comfortable
they felt secure.
And so I kind of want to go back to that community college art department, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I would go for.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, you didn't expect when you were doing printmaking that you'd end up like playing around with gunpowder and stuff. So
yeah.
Who knows what would happen?
I didn't get to do that. I remember seeing it and thinking that was cool. But I also I never ended up doing anything with the screen printing either. Because your sister was really into the screen printing stuff, and it was just like too much precision for me. I couldn't nail it.
Yeah, I've never even tried. I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I think it's cool, but it's a lot.
I'd love to be able to. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if I do it again, I might.
Yeah.
I might do that.
It's also easier, like when you're in a class setting and you have everything you need, rather than just being like, I'll take this up as a hobby, and then if it doesn't work out, you just have all of the supplies.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty big commitment.
Yeah. Because that kind of sounds like what I was thinking about doing a while ago. I haven't committed to it yet for just that reason, I think, but I wanted to like be able to make my own mugs, like make my design and print it onto mugs. But I'd need a press. I would need to get a printer, with like a specific printer designated just for printing stuff out for that, and all kinds of stuff. Because I want to.
Yeah.
That's an idea I have. I just like mugs. I just want to make them for people and give them away and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I think one of the hardest things would be like trial and error, and also making sure it's durable.
Yeah. It's it seems really involved, but
yeah, but it would be really cool.
Of whether or not I'm gonna bite the bullet and buy all the stuff I need.
If not, you'll just have a lot of mugs,
Yeah.
Who doesn't need mugs? It's a bit different than like buying a bunch of screen printing supplies and and just being like, where do I put this? What do I do with this?
I mean, I do have a lot of mugs already. I mean, like ones with designs on them and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a cabinet full. So I actually don't know what I would do if suddenly I had a bunch of blank mugs that I never was going to do anything with. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
It'd be fun though.
But here's my page.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in and talking to me and checking out the video. Aside from that,
of course.
Do you always watch these? Somebody's
when
always
I can. I mean, again, my hours and everything have been weird because school. I feel like I'm always
my hours
just
for broadcasting are always weird, but no, I get views like surprisingly to me, like way more than I would expect. Like I get hours of views, but I never know if it's someone I know who's watching or if it's strangers. I'm wondering who's interested in these videos.
I love that my dad was like in and out yesterday.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm assuming my mom and dad were together. But they're like, let's give Ryan more views. Or something. I don't know.
But
they're like independently like, I'll watch.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you guys watch together? I mean, cool. Gets more views, but
yeah, Cat brings in views. I will.
Yeah, exactly. Bring in Cat more. Yeah. Well, that's why I said too, because you were like, it's just because Cat's on here, and I'm like, I watch anyway. I keep like showing Chuck progress. I think that's another thing is like I don't really go on Facebook much at all.
Oh,
but whenever I do, I'm like, look it, Ryan posted a thing. He's like an update on the book.
Yeah, I was putting out a notification every time I broadcasted to Facebook and Twitter for a long time. But then, I don't know, I think kind of out of shyness and not wanting to be in everybody's face all the time, I just kind of do it once in a while now.
Yeah.
Go on unannounced a lot.
Well, I almost didn't know about yesterday. Kat didn't say anything to me. No one said anything. It was just, I just happened to see that she posted a story on Instagram, and I was like, "I'll look." And I was like, "What?" They're both there.
Yeah, she posted my the intro thing I have, which is supposed to have a bunch of art of mine in it, but I keep having issues with my what do you call it? After Effects. I guess not issues. It's actually going smoother now, so maybe I can get stuff put together faster. It's just for a while it kept chugging on me.
Yeah, you should definitely have Kat on more for sure. I don't know if I'm anywhere near as interesting, but I love the idea of the Art Academy ladies.
Oh, that would be amazing. I really like that idea. But,
when you're like deep cuts, I could get Yana or something. I'm like, I feel like I spent probably like no time with Yana, but I have heard stories.
Yeah, like
so I know.
I haven't seen Charlene in years. She, like, me and Haley and Jesse had dinner with her once when she was visiting, maybe like 7 years ago. I think was probably the last time I saw Charlene. Same with Danielle, one of our friends. We had like lunch with her many years ago when I think she only had a son then, and he might have been a baby. I don't even think I saw him. And now she has a little girl too.
Oh man.
And Yana I haven't seen in so dang long.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much you know these people, but
barely. But yeah. I do, but barely.
I'm sure you know like Mila and Haley and Jesse plenty.
Yeah. But that would be very entertaining. I'm sure. Yeah. I wonder what Mila would do.
Oh man, Mila would set her head on fire.
She'd try to make some challenge out of it.
Yeah.
Like try to get you to
get me to eat my clothes or something.
She'd like try to like get you to do more pages or like drink or something. Like
Yeah.
she'd be like, what can we do? We gotta do something for fun. And that's not because it would be a stream. That's just because Mila.
Yeah. Mila has a way of barking commands at me, and I just do whatever she says.
Exactly. She just has that way. I feel like that she just does it, and everyone's like, "Cool, sure, we'll go along with it."
Yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to her.
It makes things interesting. Mila's fun.
Yeah, she's good people.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I obviously. I mean, I haven't seen her, and other than I saw you guys and her last year on a video.
On a video
for New Year's.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But that's the last time I've seen you or her. I never see her because she moved.
I think the last time I saw her in person, me, Kat, Haley, Jesse, and then Mila and Corey came out, and we went to some like arcade video game place, and we're walking it, and it was like November,
like round one or something.
Yeah. I think it was round one, and then we're walking it. It was like November. It was maybe a little chilly. Like I was dressed like this. I was like wearing just like a sweatshirt, and her and Corey, Mila and Corey, they were like wearing like sweaters and thick jackets and scarves and hats, and they're all bundled up.
And you're like, you're from Chicago.
They're beelining for the door to get in, and I was like back behind them with all the other girls. I was like, look how cold they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always cold, so I might have been like that too. But that is very funny. That's hilarious.
Because she's been in California since about 2006. Like right after graduation, I think Milo moved out there.
I know that Cal was talking to me about it too. Like, the friend group was like, "Let's get Mila back," and I think she was more interested in coming back because everyone was out here. And I'm like, Kat, if you move, you're gonna ruin everything.
Yeah,
you won't come back, and then you'll either have to coordinate trips together, or you guys won't all be able to see each other. And she's like, forget it, I'm going. I'm kidding. It wasn't like that. She's following her dream, and I'm happy for her, but I'm on your side.
Bad dream, but I'll support it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, really, California? As if Illinois is that much better, but I also hate the heat, so I don't understand. I can't handle cold or heat, so clearly I'm in the right climate. I'm the one making good decisions.
What's halfway between California and Illinois?
Exactly. I don't know. Everyone's like Arizona, maybe?
Yeah, so in Arizona, is it like perfect temperature year round?
Some places, I think, but it's supposed to get really hot.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's more dry? I don't know, but it doesn't sound fun. I hate heat. So
I couldn't do it. I was out there for a week once, and I don't like being sticky that often.
No, I'm like 75 is probably like my limit most days, unless maybe it's like not sunny. Then I can, if it's cloudy, I can go a little warmer. But and my sister's like, come visit me in California, and I'm like, maybe in winter.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would love to, but I will surely die.
Yeah, I'm too much of a vampire.
Exactly. That's the other thing is, I don't know what, my lighting's probably all messed up because I don't look as pale as I truly am. What is outdoors?
Me.
Exactly. I'm like, I should be closer.
It's made out of cream cheese.
I should be closer to you, but the camera makes it look like I'm darker. That's a lie.
Yeah, you've got all the white behind you.
Yeah, I think there's like a light above my head. That's probably why. But no, if anything, my sister's paler than me, and I was like, how are you going to survive in California? It'll destroy you.
They seem to be liking it, though.
I would burn in an instant. I would just crisp up and die.
Yeah.
I can't handle it. It's pretty though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to roller skate out there. That'd be fun. But
Okay, you do a lot of roller skating, right?
yeah.
Do you do that? What's that whiplash thing? Rollerball?
Roller derby?
Roller derby.
I did start again right before the pandemic.
Oh.
So I started and I did you have to do I mean it's a full contact sport on wheels. So you have to do like a lot of tests first before they let you do any contact.
Oh yeah.
So you get like a lot of training and you have to do like physical tests and a written test.
Really?
Yeah. And I did the first round of testing and passed everything, and that was fine. And then we had a little time left over, so we started knocking out some of the tasks for like the next round of testing. Got that done. That was fine. But it was really, really intense. And I was working full time in like a warehouse where I was like standing and lifting things all day and going to school and doing derby practice twice a week. Clearly not taking care of myself very well. So like my knee, after I passed everything that night, my knee like gave out.
Oh no.
It like just like bent, like my knees one like bent toward the other one.
Yeah.
It's like that's not good. So so I got a contusion in my knee and had to take a break, and then so I just like volunteered at the games and stuff because I couldn't practice, and then the pandemic happened and no one could practice.
So is that something you think you're going to go back to eventually, or?
I'd like to. I'd have to see. I mean, even if I just like volunteer for games, I would still like to. It's super fun. Everyone there is lovely. It's a really, really cool sport. Everyone's really supportive and nice, and yeah, it's really cool. But I'm just trying to figure out logistics because I'm finishing school and I don't know where I'm going to be working, and it worked at the time because where I was working was like maybe like 15 minutes away from the rink.
Okay.
But from me, it's like at least half an hour. And if I commute to work, my internship was like an hour and a half away.
Oh yeah.
So if I like went out an hour and a half and then drove out to practice, and then I might die. But yeah. Or
where is that thing?
Oh, the tattoo shop or the
the rink.
The rink is it's in like Roselle.
Roselle, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The DuPage Derby Dames.
Neat.
Yeah. But there's like scattered about. There's one in Rockford, and there's one in the city, and or I mean more than one in the city, I'm sure. Aurora has one. There's a lot of leagues that play against each other.
What do you do? Is there a ball?
There is no ball.
First, okay.
So, okay.
You just checking people into the walls or something? There was a movie where it was featured. I think right before it became bigger than it was.
I know exactly what you mean, especially because when you started saying like whip, and I was like, whip it.
Whip it.
You're asking about roller derby.
Whiplash.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually does do I mean, it does a pretty decent job, and I give full credit to the cast. They like actually trained to be able to skate and do all that stuff. And it's on a bank track, which means like a like a regular roller rink. You can do roller derby there, but there are also bank tracks which are like slanted rink floors, and you have to like balance on this slant while you're doing it. That's what it was in the movie, was a sloped. I'm like, yeah, make it harder, why don't you? If
Oh, cool. So it's like an ice hockey or like a hockey rink, but it's tilted, and that's what you're
Yeah.
skating on.
Yeah, like if you saw the movie, it's like it's slanted all the way around. Kind of hard to describe, but like it's
Okay.
slanted
Oh, is it like a
inward.
like?
Like it's an oval
Oh,
and slant the rink slants downward. So if you're in the audience, like the rink is higher up on your side, and if you were like a ref in the middle of it, then it's lower on your side. But you have to like kind of be on an angle balancing the whole time.
so is it like a cone? Is it shaped kind of like?
Yeah, kind of like
Okay.
a cone. Hold on a second. Oh, charger came undone.
Oh,
But yeah. Luckily, where I was practicing was not that. It was just a flat
oh.
roller rink.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, it sounds intense right there.
it sounds rough.
It
I
sounds like it
thought
would
of
be
it.
like hell on your muscles before long.
Oh, it's yeah. That's another thing is you should also be. It's a very intense workout. Like derby practice is a lot, but you also should be working out outside of it. And
Uh-huh.
I did not have the time or energy to do that. And
Yeah.
that's probably part of why I hurt myself. So if I get back into it, it will be after having done a lot of exercise and weight training and strengthening my knees. But yeah. So
Yeah, my
no
knees are
ball.
like made out of sawdust. Like I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel now. I'm like, well, now I've broken myself. I hope not. I would love to do it again. But yeah, have you seen Whip It or
No, I haven't seen it. I
okay.
just knew that's where I first heard about it, and then
Mhm.
I heard that you were doing it, like maybe a few years later or
Yeah.
something.
So I'm trying to think of like how they did a pretty good job explaining. Basically, you have trying to like simplify it as easy as possible because I don't know about you, but I can't follow most sports. Um, no.
I
Um, so basically, you have you have blockers and you have on each team that makes up the majority of the team,
okay.
and each team has one jammer. The
Uh-huh.
jammer is the person who scores a point.
Uh-huh.
So the blockers are trying to keep the jammers from going forward, and the jammers are trying to go forward, trying to get through the pack of humans on wheels. and, and so once you break through all the people blocking you, you make a lap around the track, and every person you pass is a point.
Oh, okay.
So you're just trying to like do laps and get by people.
Okay.
So that can involve people, yeah, getting body checked.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
it's a lot.
So I mean, so you're just skating, but you're just trying to evade people and.
Yeah,
Okay.
skating very fast and trying to evade people. Got to be very strategic about it.
Wow,
And
okay.
also there's another level of fun where there's another team member on each team that can like kind of sub in for the jammer.
Uh-huh.
So if the jammer's like, I'm not going to get through, like I am stuck here and there's just too many people around me or something, and they see that that one person is free, then the jammer is like differentiated because they wear a star on their helmet. So they can take that star off and give it to the other person, and the other person can just go.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
But it has to be that like
it has to
more
be that person.
alternate.
Yeah. But it's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit hectic. But yeah, it evolved a lot. It used to be televised a lot, and it was more like professional wrestling in that it was like pretty sensationalized and more
Oh, okay.
violent, and you know so it's different than what it has been on TV. But
Okay.
so I get asked by a lot of people like, oh, so you like punching people in the face? I'm like, I'm a pacifist. They're like, what are you doing playing roller derby? Like, everyone's nice. It is funny because it's like like I said, it's a full contact, pretty intense sport, but everyone that I've like met through it is just really nice and lovely and encouraging. And like, if you ever like say anything bad about yourself, they're like, "Don't you dare!" You know,
Yeah.
they're very uplifting. Like they have a what's the phrase that they always used in the league? They always said, like if someone heard you like saying like, "Oh, I messed this up. I suck at this" or something, and then someone else would come up and be like, "Don't kick the puppy." Like imagine you're like an innocent little puppy, or like if you saw a little puppy and someone kicked it, that's horrible. They're like, think of yourself as a puppy. Don't kick the puppy. Whereas other sports is just like, yeah, you are terrible. Get better. You know, not really an environment for me.
Ooh, what happens if so if they take the star off their helmet and try to give it to the other guy? What
And they
happens
can't
if
get
like
it.
they drop it or they can't get to
Oh,
him or something?
that I actually don't know. They might have to call that session because that's another thing. It's so fast paced. Each uh each like jam session, each round is like usually like a couple of minutes. It's very intense and very fast. So you have a lot of small sessions, and you can like call like a timeout or you know, like say that you're done. Especially that's another advantage that the jammer has is like if you've gotten a lot of points and you're ahead, you can be like, I'm tapped out. If you're the lead jammer, then you're fine. So that makes more motivation to score a ton of points. Yeah, I haven't been around or like involved in it or learning more about all the like the details and rules for so long because I just started like sometime in the summer of 2019 and got injured in the fall.
Oh yeah.
And then there was a pandemic.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
in the like starting in the winter.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to come back. But yeah, it was like there was also an issue of school where for a while like the nights that they had practice were the nights that because I go to class at night. It was like the same night that I'd have a class. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just like wait till I'm done with school. But it wouldn't have mattered either way because there was no practice at all. COVID, you can't really practice. But yeah. Sucks.
Yeah.
Ready to be done. And see humans and not just virtually. Although this is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, wait. So, are you working anywhere now?
No, because I was working, and then when I left that job, I debated whether I was gonna look for something or not. And that was also like winter of 2019. And Chuck was just like, "Oh, you know, you're getting close to being done with school." And I knew that I had to do an internship, I was like, I don't know how I would do school full time and an internship and a job. So I just was like, oh, I'll just focus on school. And then COVID happened, and I was like, oh, even if I wanted a job, I don't think I can get a job right now or leave the house or do anything. Now I'm sure I could, but so I just
but you're like so close to being out of the woods
exactly.
with that.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting to be done and see where things go.
Okay. How about your classes? Are those are you like physically attending classes?
Yeah, that's been on and off too. Some classes are and some aren't. The one I'm in is in person. But it all depends, and it's so I might have been confusing. I know like I said I'm going full time, and before I said I've been in school forever because I was part-time. So I was part-time, and then I switched to it's called like an adult program. So which sounds weird, but it's basically it's like the traditional program is, like school, any college you'd imagine. And since I was part-time, because I was going to work full-time, I only took like 1 or 2 classes at a time, which meant only 1 or 2 to 4 classes a year total, which means that you're in school forever. Until I switched to the adult program, which is accelerated.
Okay.
So I have a new class.
Is it like longer classes?
In the traditional program, yeah. But now I have my classes are only 6 weeks long.
Yeah.
So even if I only have 1 at a time, it's like highly accelerated. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So it basically.
So is it longer class sessions?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because I did one English class like that where it was like a 6-hour class.
Oof.
And it was only 6 weeks long, and every week we had a paper due.
Man, yeah. I've had a range like that. Luckily, I've never had a 6-hour one, but they're all from like 6 to 10 o'clock at night.
No, six sounds insane. Maybe it was a 3-hour class.
Yeah, it's usually. I think most of them would be like 3 to 4. Yeah, I went in.
Like normally long though.
Yeah, mine are from 6 to 10 o'clock at night, so it's a lot. But it gets done way faster, which is nice.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I still like it didn't change in the sense that I'm still usually only taking 1 class at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot more intense because it's such a shorter amount of time. And if I am ever double up, then I'm like, I can't do anything else other than school. Like there were periods when I was like only doing homework from like 7 or 8 in the morning until like 10 or 11 at night. I'd only like stop to eat.
Yeah.
And that was like every day, including weekends. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to go back to that ever in my life.
Yeah.
Not for me. So yeah, as soon as you're like, I don't really miss school, I'm like, I don't blame you. No.
I even when I was like interested in it, my attention wanders, and I'm just a daydreamer, and it's hard.
Oh, I relate. I also have pretty severe ADHD, so.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I think I must have something like that.
That might check out. From what I know about you.
Yeah.
I'm constantly learning more about it myself, and like things that I'm like, I should have known this my whole life because I've been diagnosed since I was a kid, which is actually surprising because a lot of people don't find out until they're adults.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't like present like most kids, like if you're not like crazy. Like, I mean, most kids that people assume have ADHD.
Yeah.
Like the stereotype of it. If you don't look like that, then you usually don't get a diagnosis. Somehow I got lucky. But even so, I'm like, oh, that's my ADHD too. I didn't know that. Like constantly, like every day, I'm like reading articles and learning more about it. I'm like, oh, well, more of my life makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Being distracted, forgetting what I'm gonna say mid-sentence. I don't have a concept of time whatsoever.
Yeah,
that sounds like both of us.
Yeah.
Like time, what's that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I might have a bit of that.
Might want to get that checked out.
Interesting.
I mean, there's tons of options to help with it too, which is great. But
yeah.
But yeah, I'm constantly like, oh, whoops, that makes sense. And I loved like when I was I've talked to different professionals about it, and they've said, like explained things to me more. And one time, a couple of people like explained to me like what it means that I don't like by not having a concept of time. And they're describing it. They're like, so like you could probably be in the shower for 10 minutes one day and 30 minutes the next day and not know a difference. And I'm like, uh-huh. You are correct. And my parents were there at the time because I was like a teenager when that happened. And they were like, this is our life. We're trying to get her out the door and she does not understand what time is. I'm like, nope.
Maybe a little bit of that. Not so much that for me, but
I mean, because like the time blindness thing, it means different things. Like another issue is that it's harder to plan things. Okay. A lot of time you don't feel the need to do something. Like even if you know you have to do something and you want to do something, you can't make yourself do it until there's a deadline and you've like hit the deadline.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the time blindness is you're like, oh, I've got time, even though part of your brain is screaming, you do not have time and you've got to do this thing. Please do the thing. Oh. Your brain doesn't let you do it until like the last minute. That's most of my life. So I can't diagnose you or anything, but I'm saying that's been super fun with school, as you can imagine.
Yeah. I would always put off whatever I needed to be doing until I had to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was always so frustrating too, because like, at least for me, it wasn't like just it's fun to procrastinate kind of thing. It's like there's not a switch in my brain that goes, oh, you got to do the thing, so go do the thing. Mm-hmm. It's me screaming at myself in my brain going, do the thing you know you need to do, and my brain won't let me.
Yeah.
Which just looks like you're a lazy person to everybody else. Yeah.
I mean, see, I keep busy and on task at my day job, and I keep busy and on task with my art usually. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I guess like outside of that, my mind wanders a lot. Like,
yeah,
I always think I'd be a much better student if I went to school now. But
yeah,
part of
me is like,
be. Maybe.
I mean, it's a gamble.
Like, I feel like every year I'd go back to school thinking the same thing. Like, I'm going to be honest with you.
Now I got it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's the problem is, I mean, like one of the issues is, ADHD is just poorly named even. Like, it's not a deficit of attention. It's like an inability to direct attention properly.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of how to explain. So like, if you are interested in something like your day job or your art, then you can focus on it.
Uh-huh.
But if you aren't interested in it, your brain can't make you focus on it until maybe you need to focus on it.
There's even stuff that I'm really intent on, like trying to focus on, like pay attention, mm-hmm. And then I'll pay attention for literally 15 seconds, and then my mind is like wandering away.
That's my life. Yeah,
that's a daily basis thing, mm-hmm. Like with certain things.
Yeah, it's usually like a excess of attention on certain things and a complete lack of attention on others. Mm-hmm. So you like hyper focus on certain things, and you cannot get yourself to focus on others, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah,
that's a big part of it, at least for me, and that's one of my struggles.
Yeah,
is balancing that, especially like I have to find the sweet spot, because if I get too anxious about stuff that I've got to work on, then I'm just like, nope, got to shut down. But if I'm just anxious enough that I know I got to get a task done, then I can get it done. Mm-hmm. But if the task seems too big, then I'm like, nope, shut down. But so yeah, It's been super fun having ADHD and being in school for a million years. Way too long. Can't wait to be done.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's November, but yeah, you just got one more month, right?
Yeah.
So?
And it should be, I mean, I don't know if they're going to, like I said, the portfolio is a 1-day class. I don't know if they're going to like give us like a window of time for it to be due or just that one day, because I haven't like that professor hasn't contacted us yet, so I don't know like what the plan is for that. But if it's all due that day, then I should be done early January.
Oh, cool.
So like so literally like a month from now I should be done.
Very nice.
A month exactly.
That's exciting.
Yeah. It's hard to wrap my mind around it though, because I've been doing it for. I mean, can you imagine me not being in school?
No, I can't.
It's just. Oh yeah, that's Meredith. She's in school.
Yeah.
Oh, Meredith was able to come to this party. She must not have had too much homework. Like that's.
Are we in her school right now?
Yes. Exactly. Oh man, she can't be done. No. Especially since to you have always been like the younger sibling. So it's probably gonna be a weird thing to wrap your mind around, like, oh, not only like she's done with school now, and she probably should have been like a long time ago, but like suddenly no more.
No, I'm 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
I mean,
so that's
getting close.
Did you ever go to high school with me per se?
No.
Like were we at high school at the same time?
No. I
didn't think so.
5 years younger than Kat.
Oh, okay.
And also so like just missed that window. Plus I did not go to the I did not go to the same high school. So
okay.
I did not go to the public. I managed to get out of the public school system at least for a minute, so that was nice.
I don't remember that.
Which I mean, I was relating to that too. I think you were, what was it? On one of your streams you said something about like not being able to do math or something, and I'm like,
I guess I can do math, but I
you
don't
avoid it.
Oh yeah, I
have a running joke with anyone who ever was in that public school district. I'm like, oh, we can't do math. Yeah. Like anytime I find out that someone in the area, they're like, oh yeah, I'm terrible at math. I'm like, what school district did you go to? And if it's the same one, I'm like, yeah, none of us can. I don't know why, but none of us can.
So were you not going to you were going to like a private school?
Yeah, part of the time. I went to public school through 7th grade, and then I switched to a private school from 8th grade through high school.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was lucky in that, especially because I don't know if I would have been in the Yard Academy like you guys were. And if I was not, I probably would have been doomed.
Yeah.
Kat always says that, where she's like, oh, it was pretty much like a different school. When you were in the Art Academy, it was like a totally different school. The rest of the school, not so great. And I'm like, I don't want to be in the rest of the school.
It was like a short school day, mm-hmm. and then you were at like art club the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like you were just on this half of the school the rest of the day, and like
mm-hmm. Which I got to do that kind of thing a bit more since I did switch to a private school. Yeah. I had a lot more time to do more fun classes or whatever. Did like hair and makeup stuff for musicals and
cool.
Artsy classes. There was a point when I I had the art teacher was my homeroom teacher. And so that was fun. And she was like, you should do you should be in honors art. And like it just like didn't work with my schedule, plus it was like a lot. And it wasn't like your situation where it was like half the day I'd get to spend doing it. It would have just been like, this is just one class and you have to do a ton of work.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was like, I want to so but I cannot, you know.
Uh-huh.
So darn. But I'm glad that I got to switch, but it was a much different experience than what you guys had. But at the same time, I feel like it was probably more similar to what you guys had because in public school, I don't know if I would have, because I didn't really do any like visual art stuff my first year of middle school. So I don't know if I would have like gotten into the art academy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. In elementary school and in high school, I did more like visual art stuff. And my sister also came for my school's art club and like showed, like did some demonstrations and stuff. And that was fun. But yeah, we had to have an actual art club after school. We didn't have like half the day was art club fun.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get that.
Carve out separate time for it.
Yeah, I wish. That would have been great. No. Unfortunately. But I did again, I was in the same school district for that you were in from elementary through like kindergarten through 7th grade. And I cannot do math. So there's that for you.
Yeah. I yeah, I avoid it when I can.
I avoid it. I could do certain things, but like am I
Like,
good at it?
If I have to like sit down and write it out, I'll get there. Basic math, I can do it. But if I like sometimes it's like basic math, like I'm trying to figure it out like in my brain without counting my fingers or something.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm like
that's not possible.
3. The answer's
That's
3.
so much harder for me doing mental math. No. Oh gosh, no. Plus I always had the problem of I overthink everything. So I'd like have a problem that I'd be writing out and I'm like, is there more steps still? So I might have like gotten the right answer and done the right thing, but I'm like, I think I'm supposed to do something else. I think we learned this other thing that I'm supposed to add, and the teachers always have to be like, no, you're done.
It's the opposite of b plus or minus the square root.
Yeah, I'm like, isn't there like another formula I've got to add at the end of this? And they're like, no, you got the answer. Stop while you're ahead. And I'm like, oh, I did? I thought there was more. So clearly not terrible. I can get the right answer, but like remembering all of the different which formulas go with what and all of that. No. Not a fan. I was so happy when I didn't have to do any more math or science classes for school.
Man. I got stuck with math forever. It was the last class I finished at art school.
Yeah.
And it was a class I had already taken.
Ooh.
But it was the easiest math class I ever had. I did something poorly the first time around where I didn't pass it, and then I took it again, and it ended up being like the last thing I did. And then I nailed it the second time. I did great.
Yeah. But I had something like that too. It was like a weird technicality where it was like a go at your own pace kind of thing. But I think there was like there was some problem. It might have been like with the book or something because it was like an online program. I might not have been able to access it or something. Basically, I did fine on everything, but I wasn't able to take like the last test on time. And so like it's a pass-fail class. So even though you did well on everything else, you couldn't do this, so you're gonna have to retake it. I'm like, are you serious? Like it wasn't even like I failed the things. It was like you didn't have time
to do 100% of the things.
Yes. So rather than just being able to reschedule the test later while it's fresh on my mind, I had to wait. And it was also this was when I was in the traditional program, so I had to wait over the summer until the next semester to take it. And then I'd like forgotten everything. And I was like, cool. I wish I could have just like done this over the summer, and when it was fresh in my mind and knocked it out. But
Yeah.
Oh well. It's rough. I think it was it was an online book and the code didn't work or something for a portion of my class, so I couldn't access the
Oh,
work. So I was behind. And I just was like, I'm getting good grades on all this stuff, but I just, I didn't have this thing to finish it. And then they're like, sorry. Okay, well, I'll just do it again. And then I think I had one math class after that, and then I had more science classes after that. And I was so happy when I was done with all of it. They were lovely people, great professors, but I was just like so ready to be done.
yeah. My that math class that I was in. Let me see if I've got it. We had to. She tried to make everything like related to art because she knew we weren't there for
You were not there for
engineering
math.
or anything. We were there to become like cartoonists or no, like animators and
Yeah.
video game
Yeah.
designers and stuff. So she tried to relate everything to art, and
That's cool.
So it was a great, fun, interesting math class. Like part of it was we read this, which is actually one of my favorite books ever.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. It's about a square. The main character is a square, and he lives in a 2-dimensional flat world, and it kind of explains how life works as a 2-dimensional character, and like how they eat or how they reproduce and stuff, and like it explains like how life would have to be as a 2-dimensional character person being, and then it explains how like they interact with 1-dimensional beings or something, and then they don't believe in a third dimension, and then a 3-dimensional object appears to the square, but they describe how like he knows it's a 3-dimensional object, and like it passes through flatland. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
That's really cool.
But
I did not have anything like that.
The purpose of it is to get you to like think about what a fourth dimension would be, and it's really interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not have anything like that. I had some weird math classes, but never anything like that. I had my last math class, I had to do 4 papers for.
Oh, really?
And they counted for like 40% of my grade.
Oh, dang.
And a group final. So I had to rely on other students. I had to rely on like 2 other students to pass my final. Because it was a group effort.
Yeah.
Which I mean, people do it all the time with presentations, but not tests so much.
Yeah. That was kind of like my animation classes where like you kind of needed your whole group. Like we had a team animation class where like the whole group had to put together a little, I don't know, like an animated short, and it's like if one person dropped the ball, like you were really putting a nail in the foot of everyone in that group, and
it was intense. It was not a fun time. Plus, a lot of people were just there because it was a requirement, so they didn't pay any attention whatsoever. So you're like, oh, cool, I have to rely on this person now. Awesome. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we had a lot of at my school. We had a lot of people who, I don't know. I think their parents just paid for their fleeting interest in art school, and they just kind of phoned everything in it. And
man,
I was like, "What are you doing here?"
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine, but I mean, I can't judge anyone for their school experience because mine is weird. Mine's bizarre. But been there forever. It's gonna be very weird to not be in school anymore.
What do you do? What do you do with
Exactly. That's like all I'm like, I can like have people over maybe or like have a life somewhat. I don't know. That doesn't seem possible, but
that'll be nice.
yeah, right? I was saying that yesterday.
Growing up.
Yeah. Exactly. I know. I'm like, I've had like full-time jobs and I am married and own a home, but I am still in school and still it's like, oh yeah, growing up. It's a weird balance. And I honestly, like I've gone back and forth a lot, being like, do I want to do anything for the graduation? Do I just want to like, because I'm like, I'm embarrassed. I just want to like crawl into a hole and not talk about it because I've been in it forever. Even though I know it.
Everyone else got a graduation party.
Yeah.
And,
but I mean, I know it's not because I was like slacking or failing things. It was just like I had to go part-time and like because of my ADHD and being a full-time, employee, like I couldn't be a full-time student. So it is what made the most sense. And I probably would not have a house or be married or any of those things if I had just like gotten school done sooner or something, wouldn't have had the money to get a house or anything. But still I'm like, oh, it's taking so long, so I just don't even want to acknowledge it. Another part of me is like, I can finally see people, have everybody come.
Yeah.
I was joking around about that yesterday with Kat. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe like I can have Ryan come over finally, like, and Tyler and everyone. Like I can have people come over when I'm done with school. That's crazy to think about. So I haven't had a ton of people. I mean, we've been here, like we bought the house like when we got married.
How long ago was that?
Exactly. It's been 4 years.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people still haven't been able to come. I mean, especially because again, the pandemic that's been going for a while.
Yeah.
But now I finally might be able to have some people over.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Do something with life. Have you thought about what you're going to do when the book is done?
Like with the book?
Or yeah, in general with the book, all of the things.
See, I'm not sure yet. I might, depending on if I can get an audience for it. Like if I feel like it might be fruitful, I might do the what do you call it, crowdfunding thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like your sister was talking about her Kickstarter that she did a number of years ago. I suspect it would go like that.
Yeah,
like nobody.
You gotta like make sure people know what it is, and
yeah. So
yeah.
So I'm hoping eventually it'll start getting some attention here. Otherwise, I want to pitch it to some place like I was thinking Image Comics. They take submissions, and as I understand, they let you keep the rights to your characters. They just don't printing the comic printing rights.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, if you want, you can pitch it to movie studios or networks or whatever. You can print shirts on, or you can make merch with your characters. But then they would take care of all the publishing, all the printing, all the sales and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get paid from them, which sounds a lot more ideal. But also, if that didn't go through, if I couldn't find anywhere to publish it, I feel like I should be able to find a place to publish it. But
definitely.
But if it didn't work out, I would try the crowdfunding thing too.
Yeah.
I just, it would be kind of a bummer if it was only like personal friends and family
Yeah.
that got into it. Like but then again, I was telling Kat too. I haven't like mentioned or made. I haven't kind of advertised any of it to my art audience on Instagram yet, really.
Yeah.
So
You gotta.
I know I will.
You gotta do it.
I'm holding off for now, just out of shyness. I think.
That's understandable. But
But
still.
I will. I will.
Especially when you got more when you got more people coming back, have little parties. I'm sure people would love seeing
Oh, yeah.
the Art Academy. It's either gonna everyone would either love it or like Kat was saying yesterday, it's just for us.
Yeah.
just a fun little time capsule for us.
Yeah.
Which either way is cool. Like the fact that you're documenting this, I think you will appreciate.
Yeah. And I am thinking that my current plan is, I think going into the new year, I'm gonna try printing like little. I think I said this yesterday. Little like 24-page comics of it, and just leave them in black and white and do like little break it up into issues as I go, and maybe put that on like an Etsy or something.
Oh, that would be fun.
Just
like,
so I have something to show.
Like comic book / zine kind of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. That'd be fun. But yeah, I mean, have you like even really? I guess the bigger question is if you've really thought about life after it because you've been working on this for so long.
Yeah, so
it's like me in school. I'm like, life after what?
Yeah. Well, 2019, 2018, one of those years. Yeah, 2018, I decided I'm just going to do a big project every year now. And once the year's over, I'll start the next project. And I've been kind of doing that, but it's kind of been like 2-year project.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you pick like, one that's a really big project, that might be a bit more than a year.
Yeah, so
like a whole book.
I did a 16-minute animation of my Bonehead character. Like I made like a pilot cartoon.
Yeah.
And I still haven't shown that anywhere, but I'm thinking I'm going to put it up on this YouTube channel.
Yeah, you should.
And I spent 2018 into 2019 putting that together, and then all of 2020 I was drawing this comic. I was doing the pencils, and now I'm inking it, and then I'm gonna be coloring it into next year. But then once that's done, I'm just gonna start my next book. I think.
Yeah.
Is the idea. So I'm currently trying to decide what project I'm going to work on next, and because I've got a bunch of different stories I want to tell, and eventually I'm hoping I can do them all. Yeah. There is a comic I was doing before this digitally, and I'm about 50 pages into it. Like I've got most of the first act all drawn. Maybe I'll go back into that someday. I just didn't know.
That'd be cool.
Very well.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Want to have like an actual physical copy.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what I just want to have like stuff I can hold in my hands.
Yeah.
It's just taken.
Honestly, that alone would be cool.
Yeah.
Just having like one copy of it. Like, I made a book.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't made a stinking book. I've been in school for 10 years. I don't have a book. I don't have anything like that to show for it. I mean, I joke too because my mom tries to be more encouraging. She's like, oh, well, your dad was in school for this long. And I'm like, he has a doctorate.
I was gonna say.
I'm just getting a bachelor's. Shut up. Like, that's a little different.
Yeah.
She's like, well, he was supposed to finish it earlier. And I'm like, it's not as comforting as you think it is. Oh, I did do that to myself though, where I've thought on and off. I'm like, maybe I'll just get a master's because I could do that. Like if I started right when I finished this, then I'm like, I could have my master's by the time I'm 30, and I'd feel a lot better about how long it took me to be in school because I'd have a master's at the end of it. But I'm like, do I really want to do that, or do I just want to be done?
Yeah.
Do I want the debt and?
Are you 28 now?
Yeah.
29?
28.
That's that would not be a lot of time. By the time you're 30?
Yeah. I think it only takes, roughly around there. Like it takes like 19 months,
Okay.
I think, the master's program. So yeah, I could do that, but I'm like, I could also like enjoy what little bit of my 20s I have.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't have a lot of it.
Yeah, the 20s secretly go by very, very fast.
They do, especially if you stay in school the whole time.
Yeah,
it goes by pretty quick. But I mean, what does that even mean, really? Like, what shenanigans do I get into? Like, what raucous events would I possibly be doing that are limited to my 20s?
My dad always used to say that you'll be 21 before you know it, and I always tell people now, like, yeah, but the rest of my 20s were right behind it. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was just really eerie when I like got to 30. I was like, holy crap, I'm 30 now.
Yeah.
And now I'm 34.
Yeah.
These are going by even faster, I feel like.
Oh yeah. I mean, as you know, my husband is older than both of us. And so we are like, oh man, like we're gonna be 30 and 40 soon.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. we're 10 years apart. So when I turn 30, he'll turn 40.
Dang.
So, well, like a month after me, he'll turn 40. So
yeah,
that's weird to think about. But it's also like, I mean, I don't know. I always was like, I don't care about turning 30. That doesn't bother me. But it does seem a lot weirder once you get close to it. Mm-hmm. I can't explain it. It just does, Like, you're just like, what is time,
Yeah.
Which we already established I don't understand time, so. So I'm like, what? 30? When?
The creepy thing for me was like, I was like, I was supposed to be doing all these animations and comics, and that's what really got me like committing to it. I think is hitting my 30s. I finally
you're like, gotta cross these things off.
I started doing the stuff I've been perpetually putting off.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest reasons I was like, maybe I'd get a master's, because I was like, well, I could do it by this time, and then I'd feel better about the block of time it took me in school. Because if people were like, oh, you started right after high school, and you were, and you went for like, at that point, if I got a master's, it'd be like 12 years. Mm-hmm. Then I could just say, oh yeah, well, I was getting a master's. They'd be like, oh, okay. No one would have to know that was like a fraction of the time, like I could just say, oh, I got a master's. So it's, yeah, of course. It's mostly just me wanting to feel better about myself, but I'm like, do I even need it? No. Like, not really. I mean, it depends. Some organizations in my field are like, they're like, you should have a master's. Like when you look at job listings, it's like, oh, master's is perverted. I'm like, why? This is human services. You're not gonna make much. Like, you don't go into this field thinking you're gonna make a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
So it seems kind of crazy to think that you'd expect like a higher level of education. So I'm like, who's gonna be able to pay for it? You're doing a lot of like work helping other people. You often, you're not making much. So
Yeah.
it doesn't balance out much. Yeah. But it just would be fun to say I had it.
Yeah.
Just to cross things off. But
Just
I don't think it's
like a cosmetic pleasure.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, I was joking around too. Like I was like, do you get like a cool name if you get a master's degree? Like if you get a doctorate, you're a doctor.
Yeah.
And so I was like, do you get like a title? If you
Master Meredith Feely.
Well, I was looking it up and there's like a dead term that no one really uses anymore that's really obscure. And I was like, oh, I would be really pretentious and like make people use it. No, not really. But like the word is magister. It's like that's hilarious.
Magister
Like,
Meredith.
yeah, like can you imagine like, oh no, like please address this letter Mr. and Magister Feely. 'Cause I have a master. Like, that would be so funny, but I would never.
Oh, you gotta if you get your master's. If you do decide to stick around and go for it.
Yeah. Then Magister is the title. I earned it. But yeah, that seems like a pretty dumb reason to get like over $20,000 in debt.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But I mean, is it? That's a pretty cool title. It's worth it.
Yeah.
No. I'd much rather have time to be able to do projects like like if I just was like, I want to make something for a year or two. That would be nice rather than being like, well, I'm in school, so I can't do anything else. Don't want that feeling anymore.
Yeah. It'll be good to be free.
Yes.
And the lights there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it's real close.
Yeah. How much longer? I mean, I know you had a goal for how much longer you wanted to take to ink the book.
Oh, I am hoping to be done by April, and I was trying to figure it out real quick yesterday, and I think I'm a little behind that. So, I think I'm gonna have to like start doing like for December. I'm just trying to hit page 80, but I think I'm gonna have after December. I think I'm gonna start doing 2 pages a day more consistently as much as possible. But I gotta break it down on my little schedule here.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
It's me every day. Like, okay, how many pages of this thing do I have to do? How many assignments do I have to cross off? Too many, and I can't wait to not have them anymore.
Yeah.
But at least yours is more fun. It's
yeah.
something you actually enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
More fun scheduling that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna hop off here. But,
it's time for food.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me and
of course.
And I think once you came on, it made the show a lot more interesting. due to be because I had no energy beforehand.
Oh, I understand. That's actually pretty funny because I also had like no energy, and I was like, you know what? This will probably give me a boost, and I need one because I've got more homework to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have you been putting off your homework this whole time? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, technically during this, but I mean, we also were like chatting about school stuff, and I don't know. Sometimes I need to like redirect my brain, otherwise I can't get back to focusing on the things. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to like watch more streams and do stuff. But yeah, I probably will just have to like have it on in the background while I chip away at everything because it's going to be the next month is just going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts. I don't know if I mentioned, but I was like doing homework yesterday during your stream. I That's how I do most things, is like just homework
Yeah.
while doing other things. So
Yeah.
soon it'll be done, but the next month will be chaos.
well, good luck. Good luck.
Thanks.
I'm pretty happy for you that you're wrapping it up finally.
Yeah, me too. Especially because, well, not so much you, more so your roommate has like sassed me, like, what do you mean you said that I can? He's like, because I was like, you can come over sometime, and he's like, I've never heard about this. What do you mean I can come over? Like, I'm like, as soon as I'm done with school, then I can actually be like, get over here. I think everyone's just like, you don't have time. What are you talking about? Get out of here.
Yeah.
You can't have people over.
Like,
yeah.
You sacrificed your life, remember?
Exactly. That's how it feels sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. I get that all the time where like a friend will be like, hey, want to hang out? And I'm like,
Oh,
and I mean, obviously other stuff will come up, but I'm glad that I'll have at least one less major thing keeping me from being like, no, I can't. And now it'll just be like work and other things, but at some point, hopefully soon.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, I need to get back to working. Because I've stopped to focus on school, and I mean, right before the pandemic. So that means it's been like about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Dang. No. need to get back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Itchy.
Yeah. I got four rabbits to feed.
Yeah. Right. Those rabbits don't I don't know. They're not bringing any money.
Oh yeah, we sass them all the time about it. Especially, actually, before we go, I will tell you this ridiculous thing. I'm one of those people now. I don't know if Kat informed you. Our rabbits have an Instagram account.
Oh, I saw this somewhere.
Yeah. The people at the rescue were like, oh, you should do that, like, because I'm not gonna get into the whole story, but the former owner who had to give them up was like heartbroken, and she's a lovely human and did not want to, obviously. She wasn't just like abandoning them or something. So they're like, you should make an Instagram account so she can like see the bunnies and stuff.
Is it the Feely Fluffle?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't follow it. I think you follow me, maybe. I don't remember, but
I should if I don't.
I'm just following it now. The Feely Fluffle. Fluffle of 4 rescued rabbits living as 2 sets of happily bonded pairs.
Yeah. This isn't. I'm not trying to plug it. I'm just saying.
Maybe I don't know if I should have read
well, no, you're fine. No, you're fine. But yeah, a fluffle is the term for a group of rabbits. That's the actual name for it. As ridiculous as it sounds, like that's what it's called. A group of rabbits is called a fluffle.
Interesting.
But yeah, no. The reason I brought it up is because we're always joking, like, you're on the internet. You gotta start paying for yourselves. You gotta bring in sponsorships to something. Someone's gotta pay for all this hay you need. We're gonna make our rabbits work or something. That is not the reason that I made the account.
Slave rabbits.
Yeah, no. Can you imagine? Especially me being like, I'm against human trafficking, and you're like, you enslave your rabbits.
Yeah.
No. It's just very funny that, it's funny that I have one at all, but it's mostly just so I'm like, here, I'm not on most social media most of the time, so you can kind of figure out, you can kind of see what's going on in our home. It's like to people that live far away, and so the former owner can see her bunnies.
Oh, that's nice.
That kind of thing. But because of school, I haven't updated it in a long time, so it's not like I'm actually like trying to make my bunnies get an income, but we joke about it a lot. It's like, well, if I'm not working, then somebody's got to be helping out. There's 4 of you. Why aren't you helping? Yeah. Come on.
I'm
All right.
supposed to do all the legwork. Well,
I'll
yeah.
let you
Thank you
know.
so much for
Yeah,
being such a pal, watching the streams
of course.
and coming on and keeping the show interesting.
I tried.
I can't seem to do that myself.
I mean,
all the time.
I'm an odd one, so maybe I added some level of interest.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like we covered an interesting a range of topics.
You're a freedom fighting. No, not freedom fighting. Freedom
Kind of.
protecting. Roller derbying.
It's a wide range, man.
Rabbit keeper.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's worth some clicks.
Yeah, exactly. We're not plugging my stuff. We're doing it for you. You're like, what can I add here to get people to come on? We'll bring Meredith back, where she'll talk about beating people up on roller skates.
Yeah.
She'll talk about her house full of too many bunnies. I don't know. I don't know how interesting any of that actually is, but they sure are cute. I think they're more interesting than me. Maybe you should do that if you're ever like, I want more people to view. Have half the screen be you inking and half the screen's just bunnies.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like watching bunnies?
They're kissing.
Exactly. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. They cuddle a lot. They're very cuddly. But no, I'm just teasing. But it's good to see you, and we miss you.
Yeah.
We want to see you guys. We want to see you and your roommates, especially now that they're engaged.
Yeah. That's.
And they didn't tell us.
She like twisted her ankle right. I don't know. I feel like
Things got a little eventful afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like it's been kind of an eventful time. I don't.
Yeah.
Where he overlooked it. He was like, I could have sworn I told them. I was like, did they say anything back to you about it? Like, I don't think they did.
As if Kat would just not respond if he said, I'm engaged.
I was like, because I was about to tell Kat, outright, and I was like,
I should be the one
about you guys hearing about it to some capacity.
Yeah,
and I don't think he told them.
No. She texted me after and sent me pictures, and I was like, yeah,
because
yay.
Kat and Chris would typically be like the first people he would tell.
Yeah,
and I knew he told our other buddies, like in our other group text, my buddies Ben, Zach, and Jake. But yeah, and I think when he told them, it got like blown up into a big conversation between us.
Yeah,
where telling anybody else probably got overshadowed at the moment.
Yeah,
I think that. But anyway.
We'll just hold it against him forever. No big deal.
Yeah.
You didn't tell us. As if I would be the top of the list. I would just find out because of Kat, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Or he would be like, I told Meredith, and you'd be like, did you? It would be the same conversation again. He'd be like, I told Kat at least. Oh well.
She was supposed to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the rules. She's supposed to spread it on. That would have been funny though if you had said it while my whole family was here.
Oh yeah.
Then you would have beat him to telling everybody.
Just drop it in real casually. So they got engaged, and then this happened, and she's like, "Wait."
They've been married for a year, didn't you know? Like, no. I'm sure it did not happen that long ago.
No, it was a couple weeks ago. They went out to Starved Rock because she got a promotion. And they were hanging out in Starved Rock for a day or two, and he did it out there.
Aw. Yeah, that was actually Chuck's guess. He's like, oh, Starved Rock? Because I showed him the pictures, and I was I guess? I was like, some pretty national, or not necessarily national, but I was just like, some pretty park
Yeah.
of some sort. But that's another thing that I should have taken advantage of during the pandemic was like going to parks. That's one thing I desperately wanted to do, but I felt like I didn't have any time again. School.
Yeah. I used to go out to Starved Rock every summer. Just go hiking and exploring out there.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in, I think, 5 years.
Man, I don't know if I've ever even gone. I don't know how that's even possible, but I need to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I better go.
Yeah.
Let you go.
Okay. Likewise, I gotta move on to the next thing. But I'll be back on tomorrow at some point. But
Sounds good. All right.
see you later. Thank you.
Bye, Ryan.
Goodbye. Goodbye.